guys, it's Megan of Vigilante Vibes, and today I'm here with another character breakdown, one that I'm very excited about. It is officially Pride Month, so what better way to kick off Pride Month than with a LGBTQ plus character for a character breakdown. So I will be covering the LGBTQ characters of the Marvel Universe for most of June. There will be a few that are tossed in there that are not. I do have a schedule. So I'm going to start this month's character breakdowns with Wiccan, Billy Kaplan. I will start with the MCU version, and then I'll give you the comic book version. So, in the MCU, that's where we're going to start. Billy Maximoff is the son of Wanda Maximoff and Vision, and the younger twin brother of Tommy. He was created by Wanda using her chaos magic during the Westview anomaly. The twins grew up super fast, and Billy ended up with powers like mind reading and magic, just like his mom. At one point, a witch named Agatha Harkness, who we all know and love, kidnapped them, but Wanda rescued them, and the twins helped fight off the Sword Agents with the big showdown in Westview. After the battle, Wanda ended the anomaly, which caused the twins to disappear. But before that happened, Billy managed to save both him and Tommy's souls using magic. He then put his soul into the body of a recently deceased boy named William Kaplan. With no memory of who he really is, he lived as William Kaplan for 3 years. In 2026, after studying witchcraft, Billy remembered who he truly was and set out to find Tommy. He reconnected with Harkness and, without meaning to, used his chaos magic to create something called the Witch's Road. He went through a bunch of magical trials with Harkness's new coven, got some of his memories back, and eventually found Tommy's soul. He transferred it into another dying boy's body. Finishing the road boosted his powers, and he started going by the name Wiccan. Later, he showed up just in time to save Harkness from death, the actual person death, not just the thing death. I'm not sure how to describe it, but you were all there. Though she ended up dying anyways. She came back as a ghost, though, and now helps guide him as a spirit. Together, they set off to find Tommy again, and I am so excited to see where that leads us. Now, for the comic version, it has a lot more depth to it. There's a lot more going on, so bear with me, keep up. He is a great character, and I'm excited for you guys to learn about him. Or if you already know about him, then I'm excited for you to just, vibe with stuff you already know. Wiccan's first appearance as a hero in Young Avengers #1, April 2005. He has been in comics before, but that was just as Wanda's son, Wanda's baby. This is as a hero, as Wiccan. The issue was scripted by Alan Heinberg and drawn by Jimmy Chung. One of the original 4 members of the Young Avengers, the team was founded after the Avengers disbanded in the storyline Avengers Disassembled. He initially went by the codename as Guardian due to his powers over lightning and his initial costume looking a lot like Thor. So let's get into who Billy Kaplan is as a character. Avengers members Vision and Scarlet Witch somehow end up with twin kids, thanks to Wanda's magic, which is pretty wild considering Vision's a synthezoid and Wanda's a chaos witch. What no one realizes at first is that the twins are actually made from pieces of the demon Mephisto's lost soul. An evil sorcerer named Martin Preston, also known as Master Pandemonium, gets tricked by Mephisto into kidnapping the twins, thinking they're fragments of his own soul. Eventually, the kids get absorbed back into Mephisto, but Wanda's magic had changed them so much that they actually managed to destroy Mephisto, at least for a bit, and their souls are freed. People think those souls are gone forever, but in reality, they're reincarnated as a real human being. People think those souls are gone forever, but in reality, they are reincarnated as real human beings. One of those reincarnated souls becomes Billy Kaplan, aka Wiccan, the reason we're all here today. As a kid, Billy figures out he's gay and gets bullied for it. One day, after a random and uplifting run-in with the Scarlet Witch, he decides he's had enough and plans to stand up to his bully, John Kessler, which sounds like a bully name if we're all being honest. No offense to anyone that's named John Kessler out there. Maybe you've turned your life around. I don't know. Unfortunately, that's the exact moment his powers kick in, and his electrokinetic abilities nearly kill Kessler by accident. I mean, you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, you know? Billy starts seriously working on his magic and really wants to find Wanda again. He always felt a strong connection to her. But just his luck, the Avengers fall apart right around that time, so reaching her becomes pretty much impossible. Thankfully, Vision has a backup plan. A fail-safe program kicks in and brings together Billy, who's calling himself Asgardian as of now, Teddy Altman, who is Hulkling, Wiccan's boo, a time-traveling teen version of Nathaniel Richards, a.k.a. Iron Lad, and Elijah Bradley, a.k.a. Patriot. Together, they form a new team, the Young Avengers. Wiccan's powers are wild, powerful, unpredictable, and clearly magical. Some say they might be mutant-based too. Some say. Most of the time, his powers show up as glowing electrokinetic energy from his hands, which he can use for offense or defense. He can also teleport, fly, create stuff out of thin air, levitate things, shoot blasts of energy, fire, ice, or force. He can make force fields and other solid energy constructs and even heal people, including himself. The real kicker? His powers seem to only be limited by his imagination and focus. But here's the catch. His spells don't seem to work unless he can hear himself say them out loud. Wiccan's still pretty young, so he's figuring out his powers as he goes. But with time and practice, there's a good chance that he could become one of the most powerful sorcerers out there. Even now, he's already a key member of the Young Avengers and brings a ton of value to the team. One of Wiccan's main rivals is actually someone on his own team, a teenage version of Loki. They're both magic users, but while Wiccan tries to use his powers to help people and support the team, Loki's all about manipulation and chaos. To Wiccan, Loki is kind of a warning sign, a look at what he could become if he ever lost control or used his magic the wrong way. Another major enemy Wiccan has to deal with is Mother, a creepy, parasitic creature from another dimension. She first shows up pretending to be Hulkling's parents, and then actually brings the real ones back under her control. Her endgame? To get her hands on Wiccan and take control of his massive magical powers. So he's got mommy issues of all mommy issues. Not that Mother is his mother, but I just thought it was kind of funny to say. Wiccan's closest allies are the Young Avengers, especially Teddy, aka Hulkling, who he was in an on and off relationship with until they got married, which was so cute. At the end of this video, I will tell you which comic to go check out so you can see their wedding. He's also teamed up with other heroes like America Chavez, Novar, who is Marvel Boy, and David Alain, who's Prodigy, building solid friendships while fighting alongside them. Wiccan and Hulkling made for an unexpected but lovable couple. Billy's the impulsive magic guy. Teddy's the calm, super strong Skrull who keeps him grounded. Their relationship has had its share of ups and downs, including Loki once suggesting that Billy should magically force the relationship to work, which of course is like a terrible idea. Billy and Teddy started dating not long after the Young Avengers formed, and their relationship's been just a bit of a roller coaster ever since. When Kate Bishop, aka Hawkeye, and Cassie Lang, who is Stature, joined the team, they convinced Billy to switch his codename from Asgardian to Wiccan, pointing out that, yeah, he's not exactly from Asgard, so it's like, why? At one point, Billy tried to come out to his parents as a superhero, but it didn't go as planned. They ended up finding out he was gay instead. So while they learned about his sexuality, they stayed completely in the dark about his magical powers. If you're confused when I say his parents, I do not mean Scarlet Witch and the Vision. I mean the parents of Billy Kaplan, the mother that birthed that child before he died, before Wiccan, Billy Maximoff, took over his body. So keep that in mind. Not long after that, the Super Skrull showed up trying to kidnap Hulkling, who, as it turns out, is actually part Skrull himself. The whole thing ended tragically with the death of Teddy's mom, and to make things worse, he was later taken by the Kree. To rescue him, the Young Avengers brought in a new recruit, Bobby Shepard, aka Speed. Funnily enough, Tommy and Billy looked almost exactly alike, aside from their hair color. Eventually, they figured out why, because they were actually reincarnated twin sons of Scarlet Witch and Vision. So they did not know they were twins. I guess twin souls, But yeah, they look just alike, just with different hair. And in my head, I'm picturing Joe Locke. Is it Joe Locke or Joe Locke? I call it both, and I know I'm wrong. So the one who played Wiccan in Agatha All Along, I'm picturing him playing Speed while playing Wiccan, but him with just bright white hair. I think he could pull that off really well. I think it would look really cool. But moving on. When the first superhero civil war broke out, the Young Avengers sided with the Resistance, standing against the Superhuman Registration Act. In one of the biggest fights, Wiccan was hit with a tranquilizer to stop him from teleporting, and the rest of the team had to bail without him. He ended up locked up, but Steve Rogers, Captain America, led a jailbreak using Hulkling shapeshifting to sneak in and help free even more of their side. After that, they joined up with Cap's Secret Avengers. Later on, the team ran into another group calling themselves the Young Avengers. Things got super tense, but they eventually teamed up to fight threats like the Sentry. Still, the new recruits weren't really a good fit, so they split off to form their own team called the Young Masters, which that name does not hit as hard as Young Avengers, but I digress. From there, Billy and the original Young Avengers jumped into some pretty big battles, fighting during the Skrulls' secret invasion and later during Norman Osborn's siege on Asgard. Around that time, Doctor Strange approached Billy, seeing him as a possible successor to become the next Sorcerer Supreme. But things got messy. Billy's powers overloaded and he was detained by the Avengers. Naturally, his team broke him out and they went looking for the Scarlet Witch. When they finally found her, she had lost her memory and was somehow engaged to Doctor Doom. That led to a huge fight with an army of Doombots, and just when things were about to fall apart, Iron Lad showed up and saved them. They even took a quick trip back in time, which ended up restoring Wanda's powers and memories. Back in the present, the team went up against Doctor Doom, who had managed to steal Wanda's powers. Things got out of control, and during the fight, Doom killed Cassie with a blast. Iron Lad offered to go back in time to save her, but Vision refused. In response, Iron Lad lost it. He destroyed Vision and disappeared. Before leaving, Wiccan told him that by doing this, he basically locked himself into becoming his future self, Kang the Conqueror. After all of that, the Young Avengers broke up, and Billy fell into a deep depression. Hulkling proposed to him, which helped him start to recover, along with a ceremony where Captain America officially welcomed all the Young Avengers as full-fledged Avengers. Eventually, the team came back together after Billy accidentally brought a powerful parasite called Mother into their world. She disguised herself as Teddy's dead mom. That event also pulled a younger version of Loki who joined the team while secretly messing with both Billy and Mother. Loki's real plan? To unlock Billy's full magical potential and turn him into a being called the Demerge, basically a magical god. As part of that, Loki actually brought back Teddy and Billy's parents from the dead, but under Mother's control. He then tricked Billy into giving him full access to his powers for just 10 minutes, so he says, to save the day, only to use Billy's teleportation magic to run away. Eventually, Loki felt bad and came back to help the team escape Mother's brainwashed army. The downside, Billy and Teddy could never safely be around their resurrected parents again. After that, the Young Avengers decided to take off and explore the universe, planning to return stronger and ready to take Mother down for good. During this time, the mutant Prodigy joined the team with a warning. Billy's twin, Speed, had been kidnapped by someone who looked like Patriot. The team chased the imposter across the dimensions and ended up back in Mother's realm way earlier than planned. Things went very sideways. Hulkling and the fake Patriot were left behind, and Billy cast a huge spell that summoned evil versions of the Young Avengers. The distraction helped the rest of the team escape, but Mother absorbed the clones into her army. After all that chaos, Billy quit the team. Loki had planted the idea that maybe Billy had subconsciously used his magic to make Hulkling love him, and it messed with his head enough that he walked away. But Mother wasn't done. She made her way back to Earth and became a serious threat. In the end, Billy had no choice but to fully unlock his powers and become the Demiurge to stop her once and for all. After that, Hulkling and Wiccan joined the New Avengers, a team funded by Robert DaCosta, who is Sunspot, who was running a reformed, more heroic version of AIM. While working with them, Billy and Teddy found out that Hulkling was basically a chosen one among Kree and Skrull hybrids, tied to a secret space group called the Knights of the Infinite. The two were taken to the Knights' castle, where they ran into an evil wizard named Moridin. With help from their new Avenger teammates, they managed to drive him off. But the danger wasn't over. Moridin secretly snuck into Billy's subconscious. The new Avengers eventually found out that in the future, Moridin would fully take over Wiccan and use him to destroy all of reality. A group of future Avengers even traveled back to the present to stop it, confronting Sunspot's team. By that time, Billy had already started going by Demiurge and was slowly falling under Moridin's influence. Thanks to Hulkling stepping in at just the right moment, Billy was able to fight off Moridin's influence and kick him out of his mind for good. That also sent the future Avengers back to their own timeline and put an end to the whole reality-ending threat. Not long after, the New Avengers team broke up, and Sunspot gifted Billy and Teddy a fancy apartment in Central Park as a goodbye present. The two of them decided to take a break from superhero life just for a while and focus on themselves. Not long after, Teddy was asked to become the emperor of the new Kree Skull Alliance, and he shared the big news with Billy. He agreed to take the role, but just before his coronation, someone from the Empire warned him that being with Billy would be seen as a weakness. Teddy kept it together in front of everyone, but privately told Billy how he really felt. Billy understood the pressure Teddy was under and chose to leave so Teddy could step into his new role, but not before telling him that he'd be waiting back on Earth. They stayed in touch and eventually got married in secret, with the Young Avengers reuniting for a low-key ceremony in Vegas. Since Teddy's now basically king of space, their honeymoon had to be put on pause, and the two started navigating a long-distance marriage. Not long after, Billy got a visit from Johnny Storm, who's the Human Torch, and Carol Danvers, who is Captain Marvel, who told him something pretty wild. They'd had run into Emperor Hulkling, who was apparently planning to use a weapon called the Pyre to blow up Earth's sun and wipe out the plant-like alien race known as the Katati. Billy used his magic to watch the encounter himself, and it didn't take long for him to realize that wasn't the real Teddy. Quite literally, was not the real Teddy. Using a spell, Billy tracked down the real Hulkling and found him locked up in a cell wearing a Skrull inhibitor mask. Turns out the fake emperor was actually Teddy's grandmother, the former Skull Empress Raquel. She'd already activated the Pyre and attacked Billy, Teddy, Johnny, and Carol. During the fight, the carrier wave was unleashed that disrupted Skrull minds, giving the team an opening. While Teddy stayed behind to help his people fight off the imposters' forces, Billy, Johnny, and Carol teleported to the sun to stop the explosion. And luckily, Tony Stark, who's Iron Man, showed up just in time to shut it all down. After the war with the Katati ended, Billy and Teddy finally had a proper royal wedding aboard the Alliance's flagship. Billy took Teddy's last name and was officially named Prince Consort and Court Wizard. They finally got their honeymoon too, heading to a beach resort on the Shi'ar world of Little Chandalar with L'Oreal, an accuser, tagging along as their bodyguard. But the relaxation did not last long. A swarm of symbiote dragons attacked, and the newlyweds jumped right back into action to protect the planet. Teddy checked in with their home base and got confirmation that things were getting worse. Null, the god of the symbiotes, and his army of dragons were tearing through the galaxy. Billy and Teddy jumped into action, organizing an evacuation of Little Chandelar. But before they could finish, more dragons showed up. Turns out they were actually Talos' crew, who had been infected by symbiotes. Billy used his magic to free them, and the evacuation continued. Not long after, the super spouses had to split up to help stop major cosmic threats. Dormammu had taken control of Ego, the living planet, and was targeting 5 worlds. Billy and Teddy teamed up with the Guardians of the Galaxy and Sword to fight back. Even though they were apart, they knew they were still fighting for each other, and together they helped save the galaxy again. So that is who Wiccan is, who Billy Kaplan is as a character. He has so much rich history as a character, and that's what I've always appreciated about him. Plus, him and Hulkling are so cute. So I do have some comics for you to check out to get to know Billy a little better, to get a little better look at Hulkling and Billy's relationship. For the romance lovers and Wiccan and Hulkling lovers, they get engaged in the final issue of Children's Crusade. They marry in Empire number 5, and they remarry in Empire Aftermath number 1. You can also check out Young Avengers Volume 1, Young Avengers Volume 2, Young Avengers Volume 3, Avengers The Children Crusade. It is a fantastic run. You will love it, I promise. West Coast Avengers number 51 to 52 to get the full story of how the Maximoff twins, Billy and Tommy, came to be. New Avengers 8 through 12, Marvel Empire, King in Black, Wiccan and Hulkling. That is where you can see their honeymoon. That did not happen. And The Last Annihilation. So that is all I have for you today on Wiccan. So let me know what you thought about in the comments, and let me know who are some of your favorite LGBTQ plus characters from Marvel, because I'm looking to try to talk about all of them. So let me know in the comments. With that being said, have a marvelous day.